So let's just flip it right side out first. And what we need to figure out is which way this placket is gonna fold. Okay, so this is why you're gonna do two of them, because you wanna figure out which is your right sleeve and which is your left sleeve. So if this is my underarm seam, and then this is my placket, which arm do you think this is? Would my placket go on the inside or would it go on the outside? Outside, correct.
Right.
Okay, so this is the sleeve, it's my right arm. So if it's gonna go like this, my placket is always gonna lap towards the back. Okay, just like your zippers lap towards the back, everything you want going toward the back. Even the tulip sleeve went that way, okay? Because you don't wanna see this, you wanna see, right, if you're looking on a body front on. So this one is gonna actually lap over like this. So this one is gonna get sewn in folded. I don't know if you guys see what I'm saying. It's gonna go like this, okay? Not like this because they're not gonna cross over each other. And not like this because that would mean it's flapping this way. Okay, and I want it to lap this way. So right away I'm gonna put a pin in here so I don't get confused. It's gonna lap that way, okay? Now, this is gonna go into my cuff. When it goes into my cuff, it's gonna gather in slightly. I don't have the sample here, but the sample's gathered, okay, into this cuff because the sleeve's a little bit bigger than this cuff. So what I'm gonna do is put in some gathering stitches just right in here, okay? So I'll just turn my sewing machine up a little bit, maybe 3, and I'm just gonna put a few rows of stitching here. Actually, I'm gonna leave this pin in because I don't wanna lose it. So I'm gonna do it at 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. If you had your 1/2 inch line, you could follow your 1/2 inch line and then just go 1/4 inch inside. I don't have that line, so I'm just gonna go 1/4 inch and then I'll do another 1/4 inch. This seam is gonna go towards the smaller side of the placket, toward the closer side. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 2 rows of stitching, again, 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. And remember, no back stitching, we're just... Okay, so I'm just gonna need these because I'm gonna need to gather it. So I'm just gonna pull them slightly. The majority of the gathers are in the front, not in the back, which you'll see when we go to put it in. So I'm just gonna gather it just a little bit. It doesn't gather all that much, okay? Just a little bit like that. So what I wanna do with this cuff is gonna get folded in half, okay, like that. There's little notches here of where the cuff folds. I only have it on one, so let me clip it on the other side too. Just want to make sure I have them. So this cuff gets folded like so, and then gets attached, okay, like this. So which way do I want to attach it? Well, because I want my top stitching to be on the good side of the fabric, I'm going to attach it to the wrong side first, okay? I'm just going to do it one-sided. I'm just going to leave it open, but I'm going to pin this, and I have my lines here, and this is why you want to always have your lines. I'm going to pin the edge to this, okay? That's how I know, because this is gonna get sewn inside. So I wanna line that up first, and I'm gonna put this pin in here. And then I'm gonna follow it along on the inside. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Okay, so the top edges are lined up, but I'm lining it up with that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it a 1/2 inch overlap, because that's gonna get folded in. Now I can just pin the rest of this inside. This, underarm seam is actually going to match up with this notch. So you can see I don't have really any gathers on this side, which is fine. But here, this part, I just want to evenly distribute. If I need to pull them a little bit more, I will pull them a little bit more. And then I'm just going to pin it. Just make sure your 2 edges are lined up at the top. And then you can sort of just ease these around with your nail or with a pin and get them even how you like them. Okay, so now I'm just going to tuck that inside so it doesn't get in my way. I'm going to sew along that Okay, we're not gonna worry about these gathering stitches. Once I sew this line, I can cut them because they're annoying. But for now, we'll just leave them in. So I'm just gonna sew along my 1/2 inch line. Thank you. And I'm sewing right along the 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm gonna take all of these and cut them. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Oh, here's one more. All right, so this is the wrong side, right? Because you can see my seam. So what's gonna happen is this is gonna get folded in here, and this is also gonna get folded in. Now, could I go like this and do this and fold it? I guess, if I wanted to top stitch this, but this would be open, right? So instead, we're gonna work backwards, close it up nice and with a nice finish. So I have my notch of where it folds. I'm lining this up, okay? I have an extra 1/2 inch here because that's gonna get tucked in once I bring it around, okay? So this is actually the way I wanna sew it, and I will just pin this. Actually, let's just pin it like this. I have 2 different muslins here, so this one's thinner than this one, okay? So just, it's not a big deal, we're just doing a sample, but. And then I'm gonna flip this side over, again, at the notch, and I should be lining up this line with this line, and I can see through, okay? And they should be nice and even. And if we look at it from this angle, okay, these edges should all match because everything's measured. Okay. And this cuff should be laying even, okay, because it should be the same on both sides. So all I want to do is sew these 2 lines, and I'll sew them from the inside. Now don't need to sew over this part, I'm gonna sew right next to it. But I'm coming right up against this, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm just gonna sew right along here, okay? And just follow your sewing lines. So now I'm ready to flip this cuff around because the sides are going to be sewn, which is great. Okay. So I could flip this. Normally we would also interface this. Oh, I went a little bit off here. You know what? I'm just going to sew in a bit more. Okay, see how I went off? I'm just gonna sew that. I didn't mean to. I'm just gonna go a little bit deeper. Because I want that to be straight line, and it's not. Okay, so I just went over it again, and now it should be good. Okay, now our cuff is an interface just because we're doing mini size. But if this was a full size, we would interface it. So I could clip this and clip this. Okay, a little bit. I clip this side too. I also like to clip my placket a little bit because that part's thick and it creates bulk. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this one here. Just clip it a little bit on a 45 degree. Okay. So now we just flip it around. Okay, I poke out these corners. Okay, I'm gonna turn this actually around so it's easier for us to see. Now I'm right side out. Okay. And you'll see how this fits over here. Okay, this is lapping. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, it's lapping this way. Okay. See how that's gonna lap over? Okay. So now what we wanna do is we wanna tuck this cuff in. Okay. So we would go to the iron for this. I would press this, which I have my sewing line in there, 1/2 inch downwards.